Hi everyone, I'm Orly Star from Los Angeles. I wanted to give you a little background on my new circle dance called Baraye. Many people don't know this about me, but I was born in Israel in 1979. During that time, a revolution took place in Iran where the Shah, the king of Iran, was overthrown by the current regime also known as the Islamic Republic of Iran. During this time, many Iranians fled their homeland, including my parents. The Persian king was in no way a perfect leader, no dictator is, but the citizens of Iran back then had basic human rights. Iran had great relations with Israel and the United States during that time when the Shah was in power because it was strategic for everyone. Currently, that's not the case. Many of the citizens of Iran are being controlled by strict religious rules and are tortured or sent to prison if any of these rules are not followed. The women of Iran are not allowed to eat sandwiches. They're not allowed to ride bikes in public. They're not allowed to get married or divorced without a man's approval. The citizens of Iran are not allowed to read newspapers, dance, or sing in the streets. And the women are forced to wear a head covering called a hijab. Throughout the past 4 decades, there have been many protests, small protests by the citizens of Iran against this unjust regime. But the terror that would rain down on the people because of their protests quickly put those protests to stop. Currently, there is a new revolution happening in Iran that started last year, but this one is massive, and it's led by women for freedom. These protests started as a result of the beating and death of Mahsa Amini, a woman who was severely beaten in the head and put into a coma by the Islamic Republic's morality police for not fully covering her hair with a hijab. She succumbed to her wounds and died in the hospital, where 2 female journalists were able to tell her story and inspired the citizens of Iran to get out in the streets and finally fight back. The citizens of Iran started tweeting about these protests and using the hashtag Mahsa Amini, Women, Life, Freedom, to raise awareness about the crimes against humanity that is occurring in Iran today. As a result, the schoolgirls started going out into the streets without wearing their hijab, letting their hair flow freely in the wind as a cry for freedom. Many other people followed these young schoolgirls, and many protests continued throughout the world. But this did not go unpunished. Now the regime is attempting to poison and rape these brave schoolgirls and women to teach them a lesson and deter them from protesting. They threaten to arrest and hang any man who tries to help them. A man by the name of Shervin Hajipour took all of these tweets of the Iranian citizens of why they are protesting in the streets and created a beautiful song. This song is a compilation of all their tweets and their cries for the unjust system and government. The song is called Baraye. It means because of. Shervin was arrested for producing and singing this song. He was captured and tortured and jailed in solitary confinement in prison, but he was released, most likely due to the international recognition of this song and international pressure, because once this song came out, in the first few days, it reached 40 million views on social media. This song became the anthem for freedom. It also won a Grammy this year for Best Song for Social Change. This dance is not just steps to music. It is meant to be an emotional experience, a poetic piece of art where we raise awareness about what is happening. And as Donnie Dasa would say, pray through our feet. Pray for hope. Pray for peace. Pray for freedom. Not just in solidarity and for the women of Iran, but for anyone around the world who's crying out for basic human rights. For Zan, Zendegi, Azadi. Women, life, freedom. And now I'd like to take a moment to just read you the translation of the lyrics of this groundbreaking, inspirational song, Baraye, because of, for women, life, freedom, for dancing in the alleys and the streets, for being scared to kiss in public. People are not allowed to show affection in public or they will get arrested. and potentially killed. For your sister, my sister, our sisters. For changing the rusted minds of the regime, for the shame of poverty, for wistful wishes of living an ordinary life, for the dumpster diving children and their dreams. Someone asked an Afghani child, "What is your dream?" And he responded, "What is a dream?" For the authoritarian economy, for this polluted air and time-worn trees, for the endangered likelihood or extinction of animals, for the banning and massacre of stray dogs, for the unstoppable tears, for the students and their future, for the forced belief that following this regime's strict religious rules will send you to heaven, for the imprisoned elites, for Afghan children who are forbidden to attend school and used for child labor, for all of these fours. For all of these meaningless slogans chanted by state officials, for the collapse of these not well-made houses, for the feeling of peace and peace of mind, for the sun rising after a long night, for anxiety, antidepressant, and sleeping pills because of insomnia, for men, homeland, prosperity, for the girl who wished to be a boy because he has more rights, for women, life, freedom. Thank you.
برای زن زندگی آزادی برای آزادی برای آزادی برای رسیدن برای ترسیدن به وقت پوسیدن برای خواهرم خواهرت خواهرامون برای تغییر مغزها که پوسیدن برای شرمندگی برای بیپولی برای حسرت یک زندگی معمولی برای کودک زبالگرد و آرزوهاش برای این اقتصاد دستوری برای این هوای آلوده برای ولیعصر و درختای فرسوده برای پیروز و احتمال انقراضش برای سگ‌های بیگناه ممنوعه برای گریه‌های بی‌وقفه برای تصویر تکرار این لحظه برای چهره‌ای که می‌خنده برای دانش آموزا برای آینده برای این بهشت اجباری برای نقطه‌های زندانی برای کودکان افغانی برای من برای تکراری برای گرمشوارهای توخالی برای آبان خونه‌های کوچاری برای احساس آرامش برای خورشید از شب‌های طولانی برای روزهای حساب و بیخوابی برای مرد میهن آبادی برای دختری که آرزو داشت پسر بود برای زن زندگی آزادی برای آزادی برای آزادی برای آزادی برای توی کوچه رقصیدن برای ترسیدن به وقت بوسیدن برای خواهرم خواهرت خواهرامون برای تغییر مغزها که پوسیدن برای شرمندگی برای بیپولی برای حسرت یک زندگی معمولی برای کودک زبالگرد و آرزوهاش برای این اقتصاد دستوری برای این هوای آلوده برای ولیعصر و درختای فرسوده برای پیروز و احتمال انقراضش برای سگ‌های بیگناه ممنوعه برای گریه‌های بی‌وقفه برای تصویر تکرار این لحظه برای چهره‌ای که میخنده برای دانش آموزا برای آینده
غیره های دیدن